Hi you guys, and welcome to my channel. So today is a day where I post my first pick a card reading on YouTube. Yep. So for those of you who have been knowing me for quite a while now, you probably know that I've been pushing this off my schedule for quite a while now. I actually used to love making videos, but it's been quite a couple of years now. There's been a lot of stuff going on in my personal life. Until very recently, I had this freaking huge nudge that I was meant to come back, because I always knew somehow that I wasn't over with YouTube. I always loved the platform. I always wanted to make videos. It's just that because of the lifestyle that I had back then at the time, I was traveling a lot, I was living in a van, so it was a bit complicated to find a steady internet. So yeah, I am back with pick a card readings, because now, yeah, you will have guessed it, I do tarot for a living. So for those of you who don't know me yet, my name is Elie. I've been passionate about tarot for the last 7 years now. So tarot has been my buddy, my soulmate, my freaking meaning babe. Or you guys are, there's just this car washing the streets. Let's wait till it's over. There we go. So yeah, I posted a poll lately on Instagram to see what you guys would like me to do as a first pick a card reading, and spiritual gifts was the one to come out really strongly, and which I'm not surprised, because damn bitches love spiritual gifts reading. Everybody just freaking love them, including me. I just love to make these types of readings, and on my store they're a really huge seller. So definitely not surprised, and I will post a poll soon again to see what you guys would like me to do next as a next pick a card reading. So if you guys are interested to vote, the link to my Instagram page will be down in the description box, so make sure to follow me and you can vote on the next video. And also support my content. By the way, if you guys after this reading are really interested in booking a private tarot session with me, link will also be on the description box down below, not in the comment, you guys. All right, so be careful who you give your money to, because I know that there are a lot of scams out there on YouTube catching people on videos like this. All right, so make sure that this is really on my own page, in the link, via the link in the description box. So on my side, I offer a wide selection of different readings, and basically they come in a format of a beautifully crafted, wonderful PDF documents with pages and pages and images of your spread as well, all about you. So isn't it wonderful? I should see you on there. So if you're ready, let's go to the pile selection now. So I am someone that truly believe that we're all equipped with a set of magical tools, also called spiritual gifts. So some will be handed to us for this incarnation, some we will discover during this lifetime, some we will reconnect with from past lives in which we worked on developing them, and some who has been shared to us by ancestors and sometimes our spirit guides even. So this reading is about your main spiritual gifts and what those may be. So for those of you who are new to pick a card readings, you choose a pile, and then the timestamp associated with your chosen pile for your reading will be down below in the description. So you click on that and it will bring you to your reading. So tarot is my mouthpiece to read the current archetypal energies, and it will unravel certain messages and truth matching the frequency that some of you are on. This means that in order to find the right pile, you will need to make sure that you are grounded as well as attuned to the energy of this reading. To help you do that, I will include a 30-second meditation later. But first, I will place some trinkets over each pile for those of you who love choosing with a visual tool. But remember to choose a pile not for the object that is on top of it, all right? So choose with your mind's eyes, not your physical eyes. If there is more than one pile that draws you, then this simply means that there is a message for you also in that pile. Right, so for the trinkets today, you guys, I decided to choose pins because I really love those. So for pile 1, we have this really cute little crow. I don't know if I can get my camera out of focus, god damn it. Anyway, there we go. So this is for pile 1. Then for pile 2, we have the Virgin Mary. This is pile 2. Then for pile 3, we have Frida Kahlo. So this is pile 3. And finally, oh, there's one of my hair here, which is a really common thing going on, having long hair like me. And finally, for pile 4, we have this nice bin of the Magician of Oz. Sorry for my blue hands, guys, I just done my hair. So this is pile 4. So a very important disclaimer before we start, please note that this is a general reading that simply cannot resonate with everybody, but I was crafted to resonate with the people it is meant to reach. So this being said, there's probably a message that is for you in one of those piles, and maybe you will be able to come out with something positive out of them nonetheless. So my readings are not meant to tell you who you are, nor they are meant to tell you how you should live your life. And in fact, I hope that you know that nobody on YouTube should claim to be able to do that for you. So I believe unconditionally in the capacity of people's inner wisdom, which can sometimes guide them to place the piece of the puzzle of their own life themselves. Pieces that I cannot always figure out for them, and thus allowing them to stay in the heart of their own personal power. So I pledge to leave this power be yours, to give you your right to believe in what is right for you, and to make the choices that you think are the right ones. Because in the end, you're the only one in control of this lifetime and of your own well-being. This is why I want to make clear that I'm only a human and endowed with an ego too. So my interpretations, although coming from the best of intentions, are not the absolute. So please take in what resonates and leave the rest behind you. So if you're ready for the meditation, please find a comfortable position where you can relax. You can keep your eyes open to choose a pile that speaks most to you. If you're ready, let's start. Hello Padawan, and welcome to your reading. So I figured that I will go today with starting with your tarot cards, basically. And then I figured that maybe I would shuffle some oracle cards on camera a little bit later to see some extra messages about what those spiritual gifts that you have may be. So if you're ready, let's start this up. The first card that we have is the Five of Swords. Then the next card that we have is the World. Then the next card is Seven of Swords. It's going to be a juicy reading with the Seven of Swords whenever I see this card coming up. I know that the message will be interesting. And then finally we have Two of Wands. So you guys can see straight, right? Reading done. I'm joking. But you guys see straight. You see exactly what's up beneath the surface with things and with the people around you, but also within your environments is what I'm picking up with the Two of Wands, the Seven of Swords, and also the World card. Because the world to me can also represent everything outside of the self, the outside world we live in, and everybody that surrounds us in our life. So you guys see beyond what other people want you to see and believe. And you guys are so real too. Like it might even frustrate you to see what that the world around you is not ready to be as truthful or as transparent as you. But it's okay. Because you know when it's the case. You know when somebody is hiding something away. You know when somebody isn't saying the extent of what they have on their mind. Or when there is more to a story than what can meet the eye with the Seven of Swords. You guys, this looks like a gift of telepathy to me. This feels like telepathy could be a strong spiritual gift of yours, because I'm seeing you being able to pick up on other people's thoughts, almost in a way where you can finish your own sentences for them, or pull out of them. What is it that they have been keeping to themselves. There is also so much discernment over stuff you should not be even supposed to know with the Seven of Swords. I don't know why, but the word fakeness is also coming up. So it's like you see the BS that is all around you and are committed to share and be a vessel for the truth. The lady on the picture of the world card, I mean, she's naked to me for a reason. The lady on the world card basically is naked because she represents the whole process that it takes to come back to the most authentic version of yourself, the naked version of you with nothing covering it or shape-shifting the appearances of it. She asking back to the purest version of herself, back home like a baby in the womb of her own mother, into her own soul. This is what this is making me think of. The circle around her is, this looks like a womb to me. So this is like the origin of creation and the origin of her own being that she is tapping into. So this is definitely another gift that you have. You know how a mother that raised her own child knows them differently than the rest of the world? Kind of. I'm seeing you getting through strangers in the same way with the world card. This naked lady tells me that is how you see people, but not physically, because obviously you have no X-ray vision, but you see them and you read their soul with so much accuracy. You see where they come from, but also where they are destined to go karmically. So you see them naked, beyond the mask, beyond the ego, beyond the appearances of things, and straight into their most innocent, vulnerable, and pure parts. So you see through people and situations in a way that is so unbiased. It gives you a very good read of your environment and the people that you're getting involved with. From what I'm seeing here, you see the beautiful, the pure, the strengths, the vulnerable parts, but you also see the ugly, the weaknesses, and the trigger points that you're not supposed to touch with certain people with a Five of Swords. Because basically this is what the Five of Swords is all about. It's about egos clashing together. So this tells me that you see where the ego of people play out, where their shadow is playing tricks on them. And it is the gift of being able to disarm them and bring them back to this place of the Two of Wands, when they can get a higher perspective of their situations, where they can see things and think of things differently. This gift also permits you to simply know and feel when someone is being genuine versus when they are being in their ego or aren't being truthful or isn't being who they say that they are. This is a lot of Scorpionesque vibe. To be honest, I'm getting here somehow. But you may not necessarily have Scorpio placements in your chart, and this reading can still be relevant to you, so don't worry. But if you have strong Scorpio placements, then I'm not surprised. And this is confirmation, basically. The sign of Leo is also coming up. Sagittarius and Aquarius as well. On the picture of the Two of Wands, on this one, the lady is looking up at her phone. Well, she's looking over the horizon, but oh well, she's holding her phone in her hand and waiting for that answer. But on the traditional image of the card, I really love it because it's a man standing over the horizon, and he's just gazing into this crystal ball that he's holding in his hands. And this is why, with this card in particular, but also with a Five of Swords and Seven of Swords, since the sword suit in tarot represent the power of the mind, but also it represents the journey towards uncovering the truth. This is telling me that I'm seeing here that your strongest spiritual gift, Pawan, is definitely clairvoyance, as well as a gift for telepathy, like I have mentioned. Or maybe this could be claircognizance too. Clairvoyance simply means the gift of clear seeing, and claircognizance is all about clear knowing. So knowing things about people and situations that you should not know about, like I have mentioned before, and in some very strange circumstances, almost as if this information was almost handed to you from the sky, almost like a thought passing through your mind. I'm feeling that you're seeing things from your mind's eyes perspective and discerning people, circumstances, environments, and situations with that in a way that makes you even see what is on the other side and what awaits at the end of the road, in a sense, with the 12 ones in the World card. You can probably see endings or feel how outcome of situations will end before it even occurs too. Because the World card is about completion, fulfillment, and endings. So you may have had visions of outcomes about certain situations in your life before, but also in the lives of others is also what I'm picking up. Did you also have these strange moments where you simply knew that a relationship around you that, like everybody else's praise, wasn't meant to be, or had a vision about how a particular situation would end, even though you absolutely had no clue about the nature of the circumstances? Because this is what I see you do here. This is what I'm seeing is your gift. I see you coming out with answers, clues, truth about things that were purposefully made to be hidden from you with the 7 of Swords. This 7 of Swords actually speaks to me a lot. You're probably someone that doesn't get too impressed by sales pitch, and that has a lot of critical thinking that helps you navigate around situations and people in a way where you can basically turn the outcome in your favor with the World card. This is how I see you manifest in your life. This is so peculiar. I am also hearing in my mind, I knew it. So maybe this is something that you may say often or may tell yourself often, because I feel like you exactly know how a situation is supposed to turn out and how things are meant to play out. And you may disagree with that on a personally standpoint for now, but I'm seeing that at least often your soul knows what your mind picks up on later. Another thing that is also coming up is that you're capable of seeing the objective truths that people around you have a hard time seeing. And it's a power that almost scares you sometimes because it removes some of your innocence away in the past. And people may consider you an old soul for that too, because you know things about them that they have never revealed, or you almost get to read their karmic contracts before it gets done, fulfilled in a sense. It's a gift of premonition. There we go. This is what I was looking for. So this is a gift of premonition. And with time, you have learned to sit back a bit and relax more on seeing people repeating mistakes, because you've come to know how important it is that people come to experience their own conclusions so that they can find the closure that they need or extract the lessons out of their own difficulties and patterns they have a hard time to drop. In a sense, you may have created yourself some enemies in the past because of that. Because I'm not seeing you taking the side of someone simply out of love, but sometimes you rise up against them and stand up to them because you actually love them, because you actually want the best for them. And when that stand having your loved ones being lied to, cheated, betrayed, manipulated, with the 7 of Swords, you cannot stand just sitting back and watching them lying to their own selves either. And you feel like you're someone that has to carry on this dirty work, this dirty task, because no one else is ready to do it. And if someone can't handle the truth, then you're probably someone with this mindset that if it causes a problem to them, then it's not your problem. Then this person maybe isn't meant for you. And it's not out of ego though. It's a question of integrity for you. And I am so with you on that. Actually, if it's the case, I recognize myself in these cards a lot. You spare no one with the truth, and you may have put some people against you in the past for putting them at their places with love before too. People I simply could not stand watching themselves in what you mirrored or projected to them. So you are someone with a 7 of Swords that doesn't get easily fooled, is what I'm seeing. And I am definitely seeing that you're not someone to simply get influenced by anything with the 5 of Swords either. You are someone that is good standing alone, if that means that you're also in your integrity, in your convictions, and in your truth. So the truth keeps coming up in your reading very strongly somehow. So this looks to me like you could be a messenger for the divine, honestly, with the World card. It's like as if it is one of your job to transmit those truths to the more innocent, vulnerable, impressionable souls out there on earth. that can be taken advantage of with the Seven of Swords. You have this gift to help people heal the shadow side of themselves, of humanity, and of this world. So you may be a shadow worker in a sense. And by shadow, I don't mean evil. By shadow, I mean the hidden parts that this world and people have tried to censor, suppress, repress. And all of these wounded parts that are considered to be taboo or difficult to look at, basically. I feel like you're someone that doesn't get freaked out by these things the way that other people do. And it's not that you're like pessimistic or looking to find some trouble. It's that it's stronger than you. It's a force that is almost inexplainable to you. You just know when somebody or something isn't what they appear to be, when there is another side to them that is worth investigating. So to you, these things aren't taboo. They're just normal. They come to you organically. And you know that there's so much good in this world, right? But you also know that there are those bad forces as well as simply cannot be denied. And so this is why I feel this is my no bullshit pile. This is my pile of people who have battled against these forces before and who came up with so much wisdom to share. So let's see what you guys' oracle cards will reveal. Okay, what else? Maybe piles one, spiritual gift, spirit. What else is a spiritual gift? Oh, death. You guys, I'm so sorry if the setup of the reading and lighting looks different and if the camera keeps going back and forth in between this setup and the last one. It's because by the time I was shuffling your oracle cards, I really had to go. So this is why you will see footages of the old video and me shuffling and interpreting those cards for you today in this one video. So yeah, sorry about that. But all of this being tossed aside, so you guys receive the card of death first. So this is kind of like what I was saying throughout your reading. I feel like you guys can see the light and also where the shadow plays out within people. And you may be a shadow worker yourself, chances are. Which shadow work is a form of healing, exactly like light work. It's just that instead of bringing light to the shadowy corners of humanity like light workers do, you're someone that brings the shadow into the light. So in other words, we may say that you help people bring the parts of themselves that is difficult for them to see, to acknowledge, or to accept into the light in order to integrate it. So shadow workers, they are masters at recapitulation and soul retrieval. And they help people reassemble the parts of themselves into a more harmonious, cohesive whole, if you want. So a part of tapping into your gifts, Pile 1, and growing into them might have to do with engaging in shadow work yourself. What else do you have to say about Pile 1, Spirit? The Source. Yeah. I feel like this card is for you. I don't feel like this too much, but I feel like this one is for you because this is the same theme as the World card. The World, to me, is the universe. It's the source of everything. It's the origin, like I've been speaking of. With the card of the Source, you are someone that, as I was saying, is very close to the divine in your own way. You channel a lot of information you provide to people directly from Source. Information about where they actually come from in the soul journey perspective, and also where they are supposed to be headed in this incarnation. Let's see with these other cards, what else may have not seen. Parts of your spiritual gifts for Pile 1. Spirit, tell me. What do we have? Clarity. See? What was I telling you? So what the hell? This is incredible because this is exactly everything that I had been saying since the beginning of this reading. I feel like you guys have a gift of clairvoyance. You definitely see things that are underlying beyond the surface of people and of things. you may be able to pick up on things that are yet to occur too, and be able to understand the complex language of destiny in a sense, which is a very controversial subject, as the future isn't something that is being set in stone for no one. But by destiny, I don't mean what is bound to happen to someone, but rather how they shape their path through their own decisions. So like I have said, where they come from, but also where they are heading in life. So this is a lot of third eye sort of activation energy that I'm seeing with this reading, Pawan. And your third eye is basically the energy center that helps us envision things before they even arrive. Being able to dream and hold a vision of the future or of a reality that has yet to exist, where you can see where potential lies in a different realm of possibilities too. So your gift may often speak to you in a form of visions, shapes, colors, maybe even shimmerings of lights or of shadow that you can perceive by the corner of your eyes. It can also translate into pictures that you see which light up in this sort of like strange feeling of resonance within you, like I was saying. And claircognizance too could also be a strong developed sense of yours where information almost flow through you out of nowhere as you weren't even thinking about solving anything. I am also feeling with this card in particular that divination might be something of interest to you in general. Things like card reading, pendulum, crystal ball gazing, palmistry, or even scrying, because we have the Two of Wands too. So these are all ways in which I'm seeing you develop your gifts and sharpen your intuitive skills further. You guys have definitely some psychic capabilities, and I just want to tell you though that we are all capable of developing our psychic senses, but I feel like you guys, for when it comes to clairvoyance and claircognizance, you definitely have that unlocked to some degree. Oh, this one flew out. We have trust. Okay, so what weakens your gifts, Pile 1, is when you second guess or question your intuition and your own power with this card of trust. I feel like you may be on a spiritual journey right now that is having you building more faith and trust in your own skills. It may feel difficult for you to believe in you and in your power sometimes, especially since you are reading energies from a place that is so subtle and so unexplainable, where you have no tangible proofs, no science to back you up. But you know what, Pawan? You don't have to explain yourself to your own self. And this is the thing with spiritual abilities. We are working with what is unseen and what cannot be quantified. And we need not to forget that. I feel like this is something we need to address more and need to be honest about in the spiritual community, because everybody doubts themselves from time to time and once in a while. Hell, even I doubt myself too sometimes, and I fuck it up sometimes, to be honest. Even sometimes we have the best of intent and we still make mistakes, but this is the result of being human. You are on your way there, and know that questioning ourselves is simply healthy. Just try to keep an open mind for now and allow yourself to experience a bit more with that and give yourself permission to be wrong or go off track sometimes. So before I finish this reading, is there any last messages for my Pawan spirit? How they may grow into these gifts, discover even more of them. Oh my god, what did I do there? What else do you have to say? Akasha, your guidance is divinely guided. So what was I saying to you guys? This is why the World card appeared as well. You are tuned into the Akashic records of individuals and sometimes even the collective. And you may do that very unconsciously, is also what I'm picking up. If you don't know about the Akashic Records yet, then I absolutely invite you to research on that because this is a subject that I find truly fascinating. But for now, just know that Akashic Records is just a term to design you being able to tap into the sort of like energetic library or imprint, if you will, of every emotions, actions, thoughts, words, experiences that has ever taken place throughout our conceivable universe. So historically, this has been described as an etheric space or a collection of mystical knowledge, basically. It connects to the limitless potential that exists before us in all linear, but also in all non-linear direction. But as well as the history of past incarnations and soul experiences. So you are someone, I feel, that is able to naturally tap into that. And if you are ever interested into training to be able to do it consciously, then this is obviously another way that I'm seeing you expand and grow into those gifts that you have, Baowen. So this is basically what I'm seeing for you, and I hope that you've been appreciating that reading that was made with all of my heart for you guys. If you are interested into booking a private tarot session with me, I provide a more in-depth version, an individualized version of this reading on my store. So definitely check that out if you are interested. The link will be down below in the description. If you like this reading and want to see me make more content for you, then make sure to subscribe. That helps support my work. I thank you for spending this time with me, and I thank my spirit team as well as yours to be able to pick up on these messages today. I hope to see you soon, and I send you much love. Bye bye. Hello pal 2 and welcome to your reading. So I figured today that I will start with your tarot cards first, and then after that maybe I will pull some oracle cards on camera for you to see what extra messages I may get on what those unique spiritual gifts that you have may be. So if you're ready, let's see the cards that you have. The first one that we have is the High Priestess reversed. Then the next one we have is the Seven of Wands. Then the next one, the Four of Cups. And then finally we have the Nine of Pentacles. Okay, so right away this feels very odd to me. To see those two cards coming up together, because it almost feels as though your gifts have you trying to protect yourself or your energy for something. Maybe because it's something demanding of you, or because it's something that scares you a little bit maybe. I feel like you're someone that has maybe tried to avoid their own gifts for a while because you know what this is about. So right away, pal 2, starting with the High Priestess in reverse, I'm just getting this instant impression that you may be someone who has always been somewhat naturally, intuitively connected and naturally in tune. Since this card is reversed for you, however, it's like the extent of your gifts for most of you hasn't been fully unlocked just yet. But you always had access of most of your gifts naturally, is what I'm picking up with the Nine of Pentacles as well. You know how some people are said to be born virtuoso in music? I feel like this is you with your own spiritual gifts. I feel like you have always been aware that the veil was thinner somehow for you, and chances are that you had extrasensorial experiences very early in your life. It seems to me like you could have witnessed things that you could not explain or make sense of, either in your wake life or in your dream state. So to me, I'm going to be honest here with what I feel. This feels like there could be some evidence of spirit communication for you. So of course, this is a general reading, so there may be parts of you guys who have chosen this path that have tapped into this ability already. And then there is a second or third person of you that may have had paranormal experiences before, that will experience them later in life. It seems to me like there's definitely some sort of mediumship capability for my pal 2s, to the very least. So you're probably someone who has had many intuitive experiences connecting to your environment and to people as well with this Nine of Pentacles. I feel like you're someone who has been very spiritually gifted and aware of it for a while. I don't know why, but the theme of your environment is coming here very strongly. I don't know if you guys have lived in homes where there was a lot of supernatural thing happening, but it seems almost to me as though you don't solicit spirit. Spirit is the one that solicits you most of the time without your concern with those two cards. So do you see the woman on the Four of Cups with this sort of arm appearing from the sky, trying to offer her a cup that she doesn't want? This is why I'm saying all of that. It's almost as if it's spirit or entities that approach you. It's almost as if you attract them towards you because of your energy or your interest, perhaps, because of the frequency that you operate on. I don't know if some of my Paltus are into the power of ritual and offerings as well, but this could be another thing that I see attract those different energies around you. I want you to know that there's nothing to worry about, though. There is nothing to be scared about. The world of mediumship is extremely complex, and there is a massive difference in between real mediumship and the mediumship that we see portrayed in books and films and folklore tales. Mediumship, by the way, is not always about speaking to the dead. There are different types of mediumship. So they are healing mediumship, where we channel energies from the universe to heal people, which Reiki is a form of that. And we can say also that Jesus, for example, could have been considered a healing medium. And then there's mental mediumship, which is channeling spirit guides and different entities and communicating with them mentally. And then there is also rescue and transition mediumship, which is often misunderstood because it's not about a battle in between good versus evil, like in those Hollywood movies or like in Babels, you guys. Rather about helping different entities heal, transcend this world, and pass on to the next. So no matter if you believe or not in any of that, no matter if you can resonate with that or not at all, doesn't really matter, and it's okay. You're not late for anything, and there is nothing to be intimidated about. But if you feel like it's the case, if you feel like you can't resonate with any of that, then you haven't chosen the right path. This path is for my people who have this sort of mental veil lifted partially already, just to make things clear. So all of this to say that what I saw with this Nine of Pentacles is someone that is extremely in tune and sensitive to the environment. So most likely, you know when you walk into a room and something is off. You know it immediately because the atmosphere feels different. It feels heavier, denser. It almost attacks your own energy with the Seven of Wands. It makes you feel out of place. And the thing is, though, you have this gift of being able to uplift the air in a room, Paltu. This is why you can sense all of these different things around you. It's because you're meant to raise this gift into the second stage, where you clear that heavy energy away, so that all there is left is basically harmony and high vibrations. With this Seven of Wands and Four of Cups, I really felt clearly that you were someone that the spiritual realm had chosen to carry certain tasks or certain messages into this world that we live in. It looks to me like you are someone that gaps the bridge in between this world and then what is on the other side very often. So it's almost like you're this high priestess, basically. You're this vessel for spirit to move and act through. So to me, this all translates into your greatest spiritual gift, Paltu, which is that I see you as someone that can tap into other spiritual realms, planes of existence, or other realities. And chances are, with this Nine of Pentacles, people who have chosen Paltu may even decide to make their own gift their biggest pursuit or purpose in this life, into a profitable way of life. May start a spiritual business or become very great counselors and healers. I'm just seeing here that you guys are often connected to something that often feels a lot bigger than yourselves. And with this Nine of Pentacles, it's because of the frequency that you move through and operate through. You carry yourself on a frequency that is very high, and this is how often you can bridge the world and the next. This would sound weird, but are some of you guys attracted to fairies? Because when I meant that I see you guys feeling, sensing other planes or entities, I was serious. I feel that some of you could even be working with some of those spirits. Like some of you could be working with disembodied entities, like deities and guides as well. I will leave this part of the message there, but I had this flash of like seeing fairies somehow. So anyway, this being said, you may be someone that has seen soul of people who have passed on before, either tangibly or either as an orb or as a shimmering of light, or maybe that you have had dreams before where deceased loved one visited you. So maybe you see spirits, maybe you see auras, shadow figures as well. This is coming through very strongly. The word psychometry just came through as well, which is, for those of you who don't know, it's reading the energy of objects. So you could be someone like me that is obsessed with antiques because of the soul of each particular objects that you can sense. You may be someone that daydreams a lot, or that your dreams in general could often be very extremely vivid, because this High Priestess reverse tells me that there is a lot of communication happening when you aren't aware, conscious, or physically awake even. But this Four of Cups too, to me, is it's extremely dreamy somehow. You may have a gift for understanding and interpreting dreams even. To me, this looks like a very sharp sixth sense that you guys have developed through the years in being this receptor or vehicle of energies that other people normally cannot sense with the Seven of Wands and Four of Cups. So maybe that you are as well an energy wielder. So like I have mentioned earlier, this mediumship could translate into you moving energies with your hands and cleansing space and people. It's as if you can see or feel a lot of things happening energetically in your physical realm. A lot of energetic warfare going on almost because of the Seven of Wands. It's like you could tackle or battle with those energies frequently. And if you resonate with this part of the message, then it's because I also see that you have this gift of being able to help people and yourself deal with energetic warfare, with situations or circumstances that feel heavy and threatening with the Seven of Wands, as well as stagnant or that leads to spiritual disconnection with the Four of Cups. You basically have this ability to rewire people and reconnect them spiritually into their intuition. Something about your presence or energy helps them reconnect to things they feel that they are missing in this life. Like this piece of the puzzle that will be able to speak to their spirit and their journey in this incarnation, as well as help them battle the dark forces that are trying to bring them down with the Seven of Wands. So people may be having a bad day until you put them back on track with the why is it that they decided to fight for in the first place, until you bring them back to the why behind the significance of their existence. So this feels very profound. I feel like I'm not even doing it justice, but oh well. All right, so let's pull some few oracle cards and see what other messages your guides may have concerning your spiritual gifts. So what are the gifts my paltus have? Oh, okay, that's too much cards. What are the gifts does paltu have? Spirit, tell me. We have look within. And can I get another one? So it's like I was saying, basically, with this kind of look within, I'm instantly getting this impression that most of you guys have yet to tap into the extent of this ability. Oh, initiation. Yeah, exactly. So with those cards of look within and initiation, I feel like you are meant to find the answers to the mystery of your experiences by yourself, Pal 2. I feel like those supernatural experiences or paranormal-like experiences were some sort of initiation meant to trigger your gifts into the surface of your consciousness, basically. It calls you to start to investigate your own beliefs into the spiritual sphere of your life and into what you deem to be real. I feel like no matter what this initiation may have been, it changed you. Some of you guys may have had those gifts awakened from a difficult experience that you had to go through in life, like maybe a trauma or the loss of a loved one, and maybe having this person visit you or deliver a sign to you. For a lot of you, what may grow your gifts is through first acknowledging them as something that you're capable of doing, and second, maybe finding a mentor or a tutor or some resources about mediumship so that you can start practicing more consciously. Okay, so let's see what else. What else is a spiritual gift of Pal 2 Spirit? What else do you have to say about Pal 2? Okay, I feel like this first card is for you. Sometimes when a few cards fall in, I only look at the top one, or when it doesn't feel right, I just keep shuffling. But someone I really felt like animals was for you, so I'm going to stop there and continue to get another card. I just have my recipe, you know, my way of shuffling. Every reader does. What's the next one? That's more than one. Okay. Manifestation. Okay, so what I'm getting here is that for a lot of you guys, those gifts may have manifested first with animals before, or maybe even through a pet that you owned. Some of you may be able to communicate with animals, or maybe it's that spirit deliver you messages through animals. This kind of manifestation is really reinforcing this idea that I had of you guys being a vessel of communication for spirit to speak, act, and move through. So you may attract wild animals and pets towards you like a magnet. Another way that I see you grow in your gifts, Pal 2, maybe to surround yourself with animals more, or through connecting with animals. And animals, you may notice that they trust you very quickly, and it's again because of the frequency that you carry yourself with this 9 of Pentacles, like I've mentioned earlier. Animals get very attracted to that. Animals, they get really attracted by that, by people with auras who are just so receptive and so open, basically, to communicate and to connect with energies. So you guys have traveled far and wide. You are souls that incarnated here to make your gifts into your purpose and to put it in the service of others with this card. I feel that you guys were born with this awareness already that you were meant for something big, and you were born with this awareness of having something to do with your gifts because you have worked through them through other lifetimes, possibly. You may consider yourself a star seed, which is a soul that has incarnated past the earth, just because this card came out for you. But otherwise, I don't want you to worry if you can't resonate with this term of being like a star seed. For me, to see this card simply indicates that your gifts may be a reason why you have always felt different. I feel like this gift is taking a lot of space and a lot of room in your life. It's not really a subtle gift, it's a gift that is very loud. I feel like this gift is taking a lot of place and a lot of room into your life, and you guys can feel the weight of doing something with that. I do believe that all of our gifts are tied to our greatest purpose here on earth, but for when it comes to you guys, it seems like your gifts are literally this purpose. Like I have said, your gifts may become your vocation or your career. So yeah, your gifts may become a career path for you. And possibly you may even decide later on to make it into a serious source of income, or you may decide to make it a huge part of your daily life. Discovering them will allow you to tap into the potential of this journey that you came to fulfill here on earth. This is a very big deal to me, this card somehow. This starseed card is there to validate maybe what you were feeling, that those gifts were handed to you for a reason, and as long as you fight them, or as long as you try to ignore them, they become louder. They speak through your interest and life experiences because they're meant to become your life's work, basically. So I hope that you guys liked this reading. If you did, make sure to subscribe to my channel and maybe give me a thumb up. For those of you who are interested, I offer a more personalized and more in-depth version of this reading on my store. So the link will be down below in the description bar of this video. If you are interested, that will be a pleasure for me to work with you. I thank you so much, guys, for spending this time with me, and I thank my spirit team as well as yours for delivering those messages today. And I wish you a very good rest of your day, and I shall see you soon. Bye bye. Hello, Pile 3, and welcome to your reading. So I figured that today I will start up with your tarot cards first, and then after that I will probably shuffle some oracle cards on camera to see what else we could discover about your spiritual gifts and abilities. So if you're ready, let's start up. The first card that we have is the Six of Wands. Then the next card that we have is the King of Cups reversed. Then the next one that we have, the King of Swords. And so two kings. Interesting. And then we have the Six of Pentacles. Okay, so right away, this is interesting because the first thing that I'm picking up with those two kings somehow is that a lot of you guys that have chosen Pile 3 came to master yourselves, which is a pretty unique message. But you guys also received twice the number 6 as well, and I just want to point that out with a 6 of Pentacles and a 6 of Wands. So the number 6 may be of significance to some of you. I just wanted to mention it. For some of you, the number 6 may be a lucky number, or it may be an angel number of yours. But basically, I personally associate the number 6 with someone who is comfortable interacting with others, or who is good with dealing with people in general. So what I'm seeing here about 3 is that you came to master something either external or within your own selves, interestingly enough. So you came to master this so that you will be able to enhance people's lives, to teach people with it, or to share it to other people with the 6 of Pentacles. So basically, you came to benefit others with your gifts, is the first thing that I'm instantly picking up about your energy. But definitely, you came to master yourself, either in a specific field or in your own self, as in turning a weakness into a strength, or either maybe this is mastering yourself in a talent that you came to develop. And the thing is that my people who have chosen this path might have the hardest time in mastering anything. I don't know why, I'm just getting this impression right now. So either this is a portion of you guys that were born with their own instrument in their hands, in the matter of speech, who already knew what their gifts were at a very young age. But I'm picking up here a portion of you guys as well that are struggling at directing their energy somewhere, anywhere. And if it is the case for you, then learning to dedicate and commit will be extremely important for you. But I'm not saying that you need to pursue one direction at the exclusion of all else, you guys, but I am saying that committing to a path could prove life-changing and evolutionary for my Pile 3s, because it is normal to feel like you don't have any particular gifts, or like you don't have anything to give, to be in the position of the beggar instead of the provider, like on the Six of Pentacles, or to be scattered in them when you haven't basically given yourself a chance to prove your own self wrong, when you haven't never given yourself a chance to stick to something, even through the challenges and trials, to a point where you can actually start to see growth, and when you can start to see some form of evolution. This is how a spark transforms into a fire. No kingdoms were forged overnight. This is how you attain self-mastery. This is an extremely hard path, but this is because this is also an extremely great calling too, all right? So I want you guys to keep this in mind. In any case, I'm seeing you guys with those two kings being leaders, teachers, guides with your gifts. These are what kings do. They were born to be, or they were self-made leaders whose purpose are to direct, maintain, and manage an entire kingdom. But definitely, one of your greatest gifts, Pile 3, is of being a natural born leader. And there is so much more to being a great leader than simply what we were told to associate with the word. So let's talk about this for a second. Because when I speak about a great leader, I don't talk about someone who wants to rule over the others, or who wants to control or micromanage others, okay? But when I speak about someone who is a natural leader, I speak about someone who is a natural magnet, or someone who is an inspiring presence that holds power of captivating the masses, or an audience, if you will. And someone who also has the gift of aligning people behind a common goal or a common philosophy. So you guys are meant to touch a large pool of people with your gifts for sure. There is a lot of kinghood energy to you guys. It's as if you're almost working with different social framework or parameters. You guys don't really strive to be seen as equal to other people. With you guys, it's more about how you feel in your own skin. And this is something that you teach people how to indirectly do without even realizing most of the time with the Six of Wands. You teach them a great deal about self-sovereignty, self-respect, and self-worth, because we can never give others if we are depleted ourselves. And this is what the Six of Pentacles teaches, by the way. The Six of Pentacles speaks of a man who is able to sustain himself and tap into this abundant flow by himself. But, well, on the picture it's a woman, but you get the story. I was talking about the traditional image of the card. So this is a person that basically is able to self-sustain and tap into this abundant flow. And so they are now in this position where they have so much value to provide to other people, where they have so much to give. And to me, the Six of Pentacles is you guys providing value to much people as possible. So you know the saying, don't give a man that is starving a fish, teach them how to fish instead. This is the vibe of this card all day, every day. And that is also what I meant by self-mastery. Whether this is a field that is extremely spiritual, whether this is a mental health related thing, or a physical related thing, you guys will solve a problem with your gifts, is what I see with this card. If you want to discover another of your greatest gifts, Pile 3, then I truly invite you to think about this problem that really bugs you and that you can witness in this world and that needs solving. Because I feel that you came to be this person that will step into kingdom. I feel like you will be this person that will step into king energy to solve this problem or bring a solution to this problem. I don't know if there are a lot of you guys who have strong Leo placements, maybe Aries placements, Sagittarius, Capricorn, or maybe Scorpio in your chart, but don't worry if you don't, this reading can still apply to you. It's just that it's the energy basically that I'm picking up right now with those cards. But you have the gift of leading people with a talent or ability of yours that you have. So let's say, for example, that you play music. you could have come to master your own instrument so that you can teach others how to wield their own instrument, or lead in a broader sense of the term in the way of sharing a message through your music with that instrument, for example. So this is just an example that you could basically apply to anything that you're doing. So maybe that your gift is of being a master at Reiki healing, for example, a master at dog training, a master at taking photos, a master at your own emotional and mental well-being, a master at finances, anything. You are someone that came to empower people and inspire them to wield their own power, basically. You have this gift of remodeling people's brain around the image of themselves and of what they are capable of doing, exactly like a king. So with the Six of Wands, Six of Pentacles and the King of Swords, I also see that you have a way to deliver information in a more digestible manner, pile 3, in a way that is relatable and especially in a way that is empowering. So yeah, the word empowerment keeps coming through here so strongly. You have this gift to charge people up or to perk them up so they can join you on your high horse and become managers of their own lives or of their own abilities. So some of you may be natural speakers, maybe motivational speakers, maybe you are an influencer. So not necessarily, but hey, just saying. One thing that I'm picking up here as well is that some of you guys have this power to connect with an audience or in one-on-one because of how you can relate to people emotionally. For those of you who utilize more of this King of Cups power. And then there are this other portion of you guys who have chosen this pile as well, who are more into delivering information in a way that is more logical with this King of Swords. So I just wanted to mention, you guys, that I see that you will step into your highest potential in your gifts by aligning the two together, by partnering them up together, by aligning reason and logic with emotional intelligence, by using both your logic and sensitivity instead of trying to work your way against one or the other. So your two kings normally don't like to team up with each other, and I feel that this is why one of them is reversed and the other one is upright. But don't you think for a second that being a more logical person makes you less spiritually connected and inclined? And don't you think for a minute that because you're more emotional doesn't mean that you can't also be a logical and grounded person? So the source, the all high, the creator, God, whatever the heck you want to call it, really, made you complex for a reason. They made you multidimensional because it aligns with you claiming those gifts that you have, and because being this person aligns with fulfilling your purpose. So you were made a specific way, pile 3, and it was the perfect way for you to be able to achieve yourselves. So don't you think that you have to suppress this one side of you, or to leave this important part of your personality behind or unexpressed in order to be in your gifts? Because if you feel awkward, or if you feel like what you do or say is done in a way that is so different than what other people around you and what other people in the field around you are doing, then this means that chances are you're meant to be a pioneer. Chances are you will be the mouthpiece for someone like you to be able to relate to your content. All of this to say, you guys who have chosen pile 3 have this special gift of being a pioneer in their own way. And let me tell you this, being disruptive and being daring is how great pioneers conquer and revolutionize. With the King of Swords, you have this gift of being the visionary, and with the King of Cups reversed, you are able to make a subject into something relatable in a way where it can join people's emotional response. So I see you guys as being extraordinary mentors, guides, and teachers, great influential figures. To me, a part of that comes with being great leaders, as well as being able to identify other people's gifts as well, and knowing how to dispatch them or direct them so that they can achieve their full potential and maximize their impact, so that they can benefit more people with the Six of Pentacles. So this is funny because I feel that a lot of people who have chosen this pile may be the type of person to be able to easily identify other people's gifts. other people's potential and talents, but some of you may struggle with identifying their own strengths and their own personal abilities, which is the interesting paradox that I'm feeling with those two kings opposing each other. And this is funny because maybe you feel the need to go to a pick a card reading like this one in order to get a clearer perspective of your gifts, because it is harder for you sometimes to read that in your own self, which, don't worry, is extremely normal. All right, so I think that's everything. I'm going to shuffle now a couple of oracle cards for you guys to see what else, maybe a spiritual gift of yours, or maybe what could improve those gifts. We have vigilance. Okay, is there another one? Can you give me another one, Spirit? But already a lot of information seems to come through with this vigilance card. We have imbalance. Yep. So this is funny because this card of imbalance really relates to the same energy of the Six of Pentacles. To me, it's the same thing. It seems like you guys will grow into your gifts by aligning what you do with a meaning that can be of service to others. You basically are meant to be this flipper of the scales, or someone that restores balance somewhere with your gifts. You are a great harmonizer and peacemaker. With this card of vigilance, you may have noticed a lot of imbalances or injustices in your life. It may have been what launched you into accessing some of your abilities. And some of you guys may have accessed certain information on your own spiritual journey that you feel would benefit other people to know. So some of you may be activists, bloggers, writers, speakers, like I've mentioned. I'm just getting this feeling that you guys raise awareness on a lot of things and have this gift of opening people's eyes on a lot of things too. On a lot of things that they aren't necessarily noticing about themselves, but also in this world in general as well. It's as if no subject could be irrelevant, taboo, or too sensitive for you. Some of you guys are really great communicators. And if you aren't now, then I feel that working your way and becoming comfortable, being in the spotlight more often, or working your speech will also greatly help those gifts expand and grow somehow. So I don't know why, but that is just coming through. And maybe it isn't meant for everybody, but that is a message that I feel for a lot of you guys. Let's see what else is coming through. What else could be spiritual gifts? My pile 3, Spirit. What else do you have to say about pile 3? So we have talent. It's so funny, guys, because I was thinking about this card before it even came out, and this happens quite often, but basically I was thinking about this card because I was like, oh, I know that the card of talent in this deck has a blue color, and I was like, if I see a card of blue color, then I will know that this message that I've said about communication was meant for you, because the color blue is associated with the throat chakra, you guys. So this is gnarly. What else can we get for pile 3? Life purpose. Okay, let me just manage my cards so you guys can see about everything. So, wow, yeah, definitely some of you guys have a gift for speech, but for the most part, there's a gift that you have that is meant to reach a wider audience, is what I'm picking up with those cards, and with the kings too. So you have a gift that is meant to reach the heart of people with a King of Cups reversed, because it involves self-expression with a card of talent and the King of Swords. I really see that as a confirmation that you guys came to master something that will turn out to be a life purpose for you guys. And by life purpose, I mean a way that you can be of service to others, exactly like this imbalance in Six of Pentacles card. And when I said earlier that some of you came to master something internal, Maybe that this is it. Maybe that this is that you came to master your own speech or ability to speak up. So maybe this is something difficult for you that has caused a lot of blockages in your own life, because this is actually a part of your greatest gifts, to heal it and unlock it and to use it. So your gifts, I feel, will be a bit harder to access than most people. You may feel like you are a late bloomer, but don't give up. This is coming up, guys. It's because I'm getting that part of your life purpose is to come to learn to master yourself. And self-mastery is slow. It's slow building through time, dedication, through the sweat of your being. And it's because what you're meant to create is long lasting. It is meant to even outlive you, in a sense. I feel like your gifts will be left as a form of legacy, almost, that people will be able to come back to and be inspired to. Even when you have moved on or passed on, this incarnation is something that I feel really profoundly. So okay, let's get a final card for you guys to leave you on a good note. What else do you have to say about my Pile 3 spirit and their gifts? Woo! Please don't do that to me. Can I get one final card? Oh. Awakening. So this card says energetic upgrades, a new way of being, integration. Exactly. So your gifts is something you have allowed to go a bit dormant within your own self, or maybe you have forgotten that it is even part of yourself, Pile 3. I also really want to mention that this is just coming through right now, but some of you guys may allow that gift to go dormant as you grew up older. Maybe that this was something that you enjoyed doing, or that you were introduced to as a kid, but never were given the chance to truly pursue. And probably that awakening, this card is basically about you guys reconnecting with this old love of yours. For those that this message resonate with, okay? Reawakening that aspect of you will launch you on a very long and difficult journey into your own soul, into all the parts of yourself that needs healing or that needs to be expressed more. Not only will this process of self-mastery be profoundly healing for you, but it will also lead you to awaken your innermost treasures. And I just want to talk a bit more about spiritual awakenings before I finish, because a lot of people out there are led to believe that spiritual awakening is this light striking from the sky and piercing you, kind of like this, destroying your ego forever so that you can ever live happy for the rest of your life. But a spiritual awakening is a lot more grounding than that, and it doesn't remove the fact that you still have to undergo this human experience, that you still have to undergo your own life, to have to undergo pain and undergo your own lessons. So an awakening doesn't mean the end of the road, where you have achieved nirvana and all of a sudden there are no problems that are existent anymore. It only marks a new era or life chapter for you. It triggers a new way of being into your consciousness, where you are one step closer towards embodying the highest version of you. And we can go through multiple mini, sometimes more profound or more bigger life-changing awakenings. So I feel like giving yourself the space to connect with your interest will fuel a lot of passion into you. And this is through one of those awakenings that I see you in this life unfolding and unraveling more gifts of yours. So this is pretty much everything that I see for you guys. I hope that you have enjoyed your reading, and I hope to see you soon. Just note that if you are interested in purchasing a private tarot reading with me, the link will be down in the description bar, and it will be a pleasure for me to be working with you guys. I thank you so much for spending time with me today, and I thank my spirit team as well as yours for delivering those messages through these cards today. And yeah, I hope to see you on my channel back again soon. I wish you a very good rest of your day. Bye bye guys! Hello Balfour and welcome to your reading. So like I have said in all of my previous files, I figured today that I will start with your tarot cards first, and then after that I'm going to pull and shuffle some oracle cards for you guys on camera to see what other extra messages could come through, considering about your spiritual gifts and abilities. So if you guys are ready, let's start up. The first card that we have for you is the Queen of Cups. Then the next card that we have is the Knight of Cups. And then we have the Magician. And finally we have the Ten of Cups. I am feeling so much high vibes from this pile, and this is not to discard anything from the other piles, but this is so beautiful that I almost feel like crying, almost. And it's just that I can feel that you're someone already extremely comfortable and acquainted with emotional self-expression with this Queen and Knight of Cups. So Balfour, you wear your heart on your sleeve, and I guarantee you that you are probably the magician in your own family or surroundings, this person in your friends group that teach other people that truly anything is possible. That anything is possible, and if something doesn't feel or look possible, then it's because somewhere someone here is disconnected from their own divine source and manifesting from the wrong place. So you are a really big dream achiever or realizer is one thing that I see with this Ten of Cups next to the Magician, which is a bit odd in general as a message, but I feel like there's something more deeper than that. So in other words, there's something about your personality that helps people connect to their own dreams. Maybe that help them bring their dreams into reality. But I also feel that you're someone that connects other people emotionally in a way that helps them thrive in their own relationships with this Ten of Cups and all of these Cups cards. Basically, you may be the person that people often call or look up to for relationships advice, even if, a fun fact, some of you may actually struggle with this with their own relationship sometimes with this area of your life. So Balfour may be the type of people that give excellent advice, like very good healing advice, but has a harder time applying their own advice to their own lives. So you may have strong Pisces placements or Cancer placements, or maybe Taurus, Libra, and Virgo is also coming up. But don't worry so much about the astrological placements for now, because this reading can truly apply to you no matter if you're acquainted with your birth chart or not. But this is a lot of 4th house, 6th house, 12th house energy that I'm getting with those cards. My Balfours are probably people who wish sometimes that they could take all of this world's problems in their own hands and carry the charge of this entire world on their shoulders. My shoulders feel heavy here, and I know what this means because this is a feeling that I used to have myself, and this is how I connected to my own gifts in my life. By the way, this is the way that we feel when we wish that we had the power to right all the wrongs and heal the entire world. Balfour, it's the way that we feel when everybody else around us has given up entirely on people, on this world, on themselves, and we feel like we are the only ones left to carry the load by our own selves, trying to make this world a better place and to the best of our abilities. So starting with this Queen of Cups, which was the first card to come out of the deck for you guys. I have to explain the Queen of Cups a little bit more, because this is someone who literally rules from the seat of her own sensitivity and emotional intelligence. This chalice that she is holding is basically, she personalized it and adorned it with jewels and crystals, because she came to understand that this is the most valuable object in her possession. And this seems like not everyone is taking care of their own cups the way that she does. And this is how often people end up being disconnected from their own hearts, from their own cup. So the Queen of Cups is someone extremely intuitively sensitive, because she's connected to how she feels at all times. She has learned to cultivate this gift through having to manage her own way in some extremely emotionally challenging life events, through some extremely heavy, dense events that challenge her emotions. Life events that ask her many times to drop this cup, or to be more realistic or more practical, to stop being so sensitive, you know what I mean? But the whole challenge of her life had to do with understanding that this cup was in fact not a handicap of hers, but one of her greatest gifts. So I see you guys like this Queen of Cups, and in fact with the Knight of Cups right next, I see that this is by this cup that you guys orientate yourselves most of the time. So you probably feel before you think. You probably act a lot on those feelings as well, and navigate life through the filter of your own emotions and what they conjure up in you. I feel that you're someone who can pick up on a lot of information through their own body and through how they feel. And this is an ability that you had to develop so that you could navigate around people in your life. By understanding how they felt, you knew how to respond to them or get the response from them that you needed. So this feels like your greatest gift, Power 4, is one of being an empath, a very powerful empath, which is a very important gift that this world needs more of. You know, this world needs both. It needs a mix of realistic people so that we can achieve what is possible. Realistic people, they ground ideas down into this tangible reality. But we also need idealistic people so that we can see what is actually possible beyond the limitations of our own mind and belief system. And I feel that my Pile 4s are big dreamers and idealists, and no matter what you have been raised to believe about people like that, we need you guys. We need you to remain this way, because this is how we can actually solve the greatest world problems and progress. We need realistic people and brain experts. We need the achievers and the builders, but we also need the dreamers and the idealists. All of them, they need to align together so that the process of creation can happen. And this is what the magician speaks of, by the way. The magician is pointing down at the ground and up in the sky for a reason, because the tangible infinite needs to meet the ground so that it becomes real, and vice versa. So please don't change or don't get discouraged, because I know that being the one that imagines the plans, like the Queen and the Knight of Cups, is a really big job. But if we are to execute and realize greatness, we need that person that will be able to come up with the idea that was never been thought of before. And I really believe with the magician and the Queen of Cups and the Ten of Cups that this is you guys. So this feels to me like you're someone of great emotional intelligence. And when I speak of emotional intelligence, I speak of the ground where all of those aspects can meet, where self-awareness, where empathy, where motivation, where self-regulation, and social skills can meet. I feel like you're someone that can pick up on other people's energy and other people's level or quality of energy through your own feelings and body temperature, if you will. And by body temperature, I speak, yes, what you can feel as sensations in your physical body, but also I speak of the temperature of your own emotions. You may be someone that easily can feel when something is off with someone, and this person may even be a stranger sometimes, by simply how they carry themselves, but also the energetic frequency that they project to you, and that you are able to read through your own physical and emotional responses. So this is what we mean often when we speak of feeling the vibe of things and of people or of places. We basically mean that we can pick up on the vibration or the atmosphere of someone or of the room, basically, and we can read that. And this atmosphere, it creates an ecosystem sometimes, and an entity of their own. And I see you as someone that could often get really affected by that with the 10 of Cups. I feel that negativity, pessimisms could really affect you. Someone who is always tired, who is sick, could translate into you feeling drained or feeling a bit off the weather yourself. And this is because you're a natural uplifter, pile 4. Actually, this reminds me of a part of a message that I said in another pile. So you may have been attracted to this pile as well as another one in this pick a card reading. But basically, I see that you're meant to raise the energy to a higher frequency. From what I'm seeing here, it seems like you guys are powerful empaths, which translates into the category of clairsentience most of the time for me. And well, explaining the difference is a different topic for a different day maybe, but I see that clairsentience is a strong spiritual gift of yours. And not only do I see you picking up on energies very well, but I also feel that you have the this gift of directing energy too, with the Magician. And this is what I meant by you making dreams come to reality. I feel that you can take on this energy and upgrade it into something higher in frequency with the 10 of Cups, which again reminds me of this other pile in this reading. Maybe you're someone that manifests through this power too. You know, when we say that high vibes attract high vibes, in a sense, you may be someone that has the power of attraction in their own pocket. So being an empath to me has a lot to do with being able to hear people and connect with people who are in some pretty dark places in their lives, or who are in situations that others can't really relate to, and being the one able to come to their level so that you can pull them into a brighter place where they can understand their own emotions and reactions better. There is simply so much more that comes with being an empath or clairsentient, and I hope that I could at least explain it in a manner that you guys could understand. But I feel with all of those cups energies as well, that you guys may feel extremely connected to water magic. And of course, you may have a relationship with all like fire, earth, air, and water elements, but I'm seeing that you may feel at home near water or close to bodies of water, most especially pile 4. And this is interesting because our own bodies are constituted of about 60% of water, I believe. So this may be another reason why you are able to tune in so organically and intuitively with other people's states of being. Water may prove to be extremely cleansing, healing, and purifying for you. Spiritual showers and baths, steam even, going for a wild swim in the river or at the beach, and as well, hydration may be extremely important for my pile 4s. I also feel that people in my pile 4 are very good with animals, with the disabled, with elderly, and with children. People who have special needs or who need special care, because you guys are also caretakers with this Knight of Cups. So let's see what else that your oracle cards can say about your gifts pile 4, and how you may grow maybe into these gifts, how maybe you weaken these gifts. What else you have to say for my pile 4 spirit? Oh, gift. Can I have another card? Oops. Can I have another card, spirit? And warrior. So I don't know if you can see that clearly, but on the card of the gift, there are the different elements being represented here. So you have fire, water, air, and earth. So you guys may definitely be into elemental magic and manipulating the elements, much like the magician does. The magician is someone with tools of the 4 elements on their table, because these are the tools that the universe gave them to materialize exactly what they wanted and needed in life. So now it's starting to make sense, what I was getting about you being able to make dreams realize and happen. So we can say that wielding tools like the hammer, the nails, the wood is what will bring us to construct our own home. And just like that, the magician used their own tools as well as their willpower, like the card of the warrior. And bringing those forces together is what enabled the magician to bring anything that they want into reality. So this is it, you guys. You guys are not only clairsentient, but you are also natural manifestors. There we go. This is something that I was looking for, and I didn't quite know how the message clicked, but now it's just reinforced. It's just confirmation. Here's a metaphor for you. Have you ever watched a river flow from the top of a mountain down to the sea? If you have, you'll have noticed that the river always seems to take the path of least resistance to reach the sea. It will find the most effortless way to go down the mountain. You won't ever find a river trying to flow uphill. When you realize that your life can flow like a river too, pile 4, is when great things start to happen. Your life is like a river, always seeking the most effortless path to your destiny. When your life begins to flow, your problems that once seemed insurmountable naturally work themselves out as your life leads you to the path of least resistance to success. This does not mean that achieving things that you want in life and that you really need in life don't also require a fair share of amount of effort. I just wanted to mention by this that I'm seeing you manifesting things in your life that align with your emotional state. It aligns with your emotional state quite effortlessly. So emotional well-being may be extremely important to watch from our pile 4, because how you feel will often materialize itself into your own reality. And emotions, they are meant for you to use to your own advantage. They are not meant to enslave you or disactivate you. By you realizing that, I'm seeing you unfold into your gifts even more. So let's see what other things that Spirit can say about your spiritual gifts. You have to say. Have the card of fertility. Put it there. Okay. Do you have something else to say to pile 4, Spirit? Forgiveness. Yep, so with this card of forgiveness, unraveling old emotional luggage and self-healing will help you unfold the second stage of your gifts, pile 4, where instead of affecting you so much, your intuitive sensitivity helps you release yourself and others of emotional charges that they are not meant to carry anymore. With this card of fertility, bang on, eureka. Some of you guys understand the process of creation and the process of materializing an idea into being. If you're not there quite yet, then don't worry. This is what is in store for you and the potential that your gifts can help you achieve. So this is a little teaser basically. But for the most part, I feel that my Pal 4s have understood very early on that they were the co-creator of their own reality. And I feel that this is a truth that you will connect other people to, and that will prove to be extremely healing for them. With this card of forgiveness, definitely, there are some emotional healing abilities to you. So let's get one final card for you guys. It says, Soul Family, call in your tribe. You don't have to do it alone. So yes, there's a tribe of like-minded souls out there for you guys. My Pal 4s may have prayed to be more surrounded with people like you, who can match you emotionally or consciously. One thing that is in store for you, Pal 4, is that discovering your gifts and pursuing them. By doing that, I'm seeing the universe bring people who feel more like you, who feel more like you can be yourself, and that will encourage you or even have similar gifts in common with you. You remember when I said earlier that some of you may struggle with this area of your life? Actually, some of you may struggle with relationships at this time, with finding people that can relate to you as much as you can relate to them. And it seems like your spirit team wants you to stop focusing on wanting to carry the whole world by yourself, but to make healing your relationships and attracting other souls like you in your way your priority instead, because you were never meant to heal the whole damn world by yourself, Pal 4, and that wastes a lot of your energy. In fact, as I always say, and people that already work with me will get tired of me saying that always, but the big paradox of life or of spiritual healing is that we can never actually heal other people against their own will or before their spirit is actually ready to collaborate with the healing. So we may only heal ourselves or support others and inspire them to choose to heal instead. Remember that, Pal 4, because this is how you will use your gifts more effectively without always overextending yourself so much. So this is basically all that I'm seeing for you guys. I hope that you enjoyed this reading and enjoyed spending this time with me. If you guys are interested into booking a private reading with me, I offer a spiritual gift reading on my store that is much more in depth and much more personalized. So if you're interested, the link will be in the description of this video down below. If you liked the video and want me to create more content for you, please like and subscribe if you want. That will help support my work. And I want to thank my spirit team as well as yours for delivering those messages and those cards today, and I hope to see you soon on my channel again. Bye guys.